Good morning, everyone. Welcome. It's twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day. The time is 10 a.m.-ish, and I'm joined by the man that we call Bibby. Alright, Bib.
Good morning. There is no issues here, Graham. It's before 12 o'clock. This is a great time to go live.
This is absolutely a good time to go live. Although you did say there's no issues here. There actually is. In the countdown, just as we were going live then, we got a big old raid of 27 people from Big Him. Ish. Nice. Ish. There we go. Hey. Thank you very much, Big Ham. I did see Big Ham was jumping off early, so basically we need to time the stream for whenever Ham finishes, and then he can draw. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Enjoy the day, Big Ham and fam. How are we all doing? If you're in the stream, do feel free to let us know that you're here. My name is Graham. I'm joined by Bibby, and Gagad has just dropped.
Ole. We are the Reds. We are the Reds.
Ole. We are the Reds. We are the Reds. Do you know, I almost added exclamation mark Ole to the command chatbot as a command to the chatbot this morning, just for who would be the first one, and I was going to go like predictable banter, but I didn't because my life is based on predictable banter. So I thought, well, there you go.
That's a little bit too predictable.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't. Anyway. Ditchy, good morning, you two, you fucking dickhead. Good morning, Ditchy. How are we doing, dude?
Morning, Ditchy.
I was in Ditchy's stream. I was watching, it was Ravi. I think, was it Friday or Saturday night? I was watching Ravi. Ravi was playing Wrexham, and then I can't remember who the other team was, but he was Bromley. Anyway, he got to basically final, got Bromley promoted to League 2 of the English Football League. Nice. So then we followed on for a raid into Ditchy stream, so I sat in there for a bit. So yeah, how we doing, Ditchy? Good weekend? Tito, good morning. West with the ish. Sheepfragger, good morning, Sheepfragger. How we doing, dude? Are you still? Actually, I went past Sheepfragger's stream. Were you playing Halo yesterday? Day before? I didn't say anything. I dropped in and yeah, I was expecting you to have been on the Battlefield hype, but then I think you were Halo hype. I'm pretty sure. Anarchy Max with the raids. Good morning. Mr. T is here as well. Good morning.
International jet setter.
Yeah, absolutely. How was Dubai? I mean, obviously Dubai rolled out the big red carpet and then the green carpet and all of the carpets, because Mr. T is not just the red carpet guy, he's all the carpets. How was Dubai? How are we doing? Tricky! Morning! It is. Big laser pen. Hey. If you don't know who we are, if you don't know what this is, well, my name is Graham. How are you doing? This is Bibby. Hey. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. We are going to be live, like we are, each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish for the next hour or so, to give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. We won't just give you our thoughts and impressions, we want your thoughts and impressions too. We then want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of important. Make sure you do get involved, because even though we are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, the live stream gets turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play. There's lots of people, over 105,000 of them, that have listened and watched to this. You know what I'm saying. Over 105,000 people have listened to us chat shit about video games. So make sure you get involved, because your words in the live stream are important. You get to speak on behalf of everyone else watching and listening on demand. Make sure you do it. Before we jump into the stream, let me remind you that subscribers get prizes. One subscriber every month gets the loot drop, !loot drop. If anybody wants to just type that into the chat for me, that'd be very nice. Thank you very much. This month's loot drop is not only a game of your choice. You could bag yourself, I don't know, maybe you want Halo, but you're not on Game Pass. We'll buy Halo for you when it comes out. Ish. Maybe you want Battlefield. We'll buy that too. Nice. Whatever game you choose, we will buy it within reason, obviously. But the big thing is, this hat on my head is mine, but you could get one just like it. We are giving away one of only 15 Ice Cream Uploads blackout hats in the world. Literally only 15 in the world. You get one of them. How cool is that?
Super cool.
It's ridiculously cool. Speaking of cool, how was the weekend, Bib? Was your weekend very cool?
Just trying to think now. What did I actually do this weekend? Oh, played Skyrim yesterday, obviously. That's Sunday morning Skyrims. That's going to be a thing. City won as well, which is very common these days. It's no big deal. Winning quite a lot. Don't particularly lose that often, and usually in games that are kind of irrelevant or whatever. But
yeah, see, there was the international break, and then it's Champions League midweek. I don't think there's been any other games between.
I don't think there has as well.
No.
Yeah. I think City was the only game that happened this weekend, so it's understandable how you feel like that.
I can definitely say without any certain uncertainty that United didn't play this weekend.
Yeah. I imagine it's quite difficult being a United fan at this moment in time. I'm not taking any joy whatsoever out of this situation, none whatsoever. I haven't posted anything on social media about it. I just think it's really distressing for United fans at this moment in time, and I don't want to be the fuel to the fire. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be that fuel.
To
More
quote
importantly, though,
the ancient philosopher himself, Mr. Ditch in 1979, you fucking dickhead.
But no, in all seriousness, it's a new time for United. Got rid of the manager, kept the exact same coaching staff who are now the coaching staff that are going to be the guys that are going to be on the touchline this weekend. Yeah, I mean, it's new times ahead for Man United. If I was a United fan, I'd be fucking mortified about how this club's being run. And I imagine all 8 people who went to protest this weekend and the next 9 people that'll probably go this weekend will be just as mortified. But
to be fair, it's good times for United because we've obviously Ollie's gone. We've got a replacement lined up. Oh wait, no, we kind of no, nothing's been announced on that. But I mean, we are also getting rid of Ed Wood. Oh wait, the news story is that he might be extending his contract now. Fuck off!
Yeah, it's. Do you know what? Allegiances aside, and I mean, I'm going to say this from the heart, even as a City fan. If this was my club, I'd be well. If it was City, you'd just think it was absolutely normal. Before we got money, this was a normal thing for City fans. But United fans, this is the first time I think. Obviously since I've been knocking about because it's always been Fergie pretty much. But this is the first time a lot of people have been going through this now. And even though you've had 4 managers in like the last 8 years or whatever it is, this is the worst United have been in. The worst situation. You can spin it however you want with the players that you've got. You've got a better team than any manager that's post Fergie has ever had, and you're getting worse results. You've had better managers with lesser teams getting trophies, regardless of what trophies they are. They've still won trophies. It's a distressing situation for United fans, and I'm taking genuinely no pleasure, apart from the fact that United did have a banner on their stadium ticking down every single year that City never won a trophy. Even though we wasn't rivals to United, according to United fans. But yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult for United.
Listen to it. Listen, I'm honest. Then you could hear him. You could all those years of hurt just pouring out. But we don't live in his head rent free. It's fine. We get it.
Not at all. No. Again, this is the benefit of my life and where I've grown up. I was one of probably 10 City fans in my entire year. There was all Man United fans, and now I think if you went into, I'm not saying a 30-year-old bloke should go into any playgrounds, but I imagine the playgrounds are probably predominantly blue now than they are red. Like it's just the way that football goes. There's always peaks and troughs. It's just the United's peak lasted like nearly 28 years. And now it's got to a point where it's all downhill, but they'll come back. The United are United. They are an absolute behemoth of a football club, regardless of what happens on the field. Off the field, they are still an absolute giant. They should have no problems in trying to get a manager, and they've got no problems in bringing the players back. Fucking hell, they've got one of the best players that has ever graced the game come back to United. They managed to get one of the best centre-backs, the most decorated centre-backs in the last 10 years in Varane coming to United. So on the pitch, I don't think it's a problem. It's definitely off the pitch, and it's not even...
I think on the pitch is still a problem. Do you know, we'll have to put a pin in this quickly. I think on the pitch is still a big problem. We've got some big guns that most teams would like to have, but we also have some absolute liabilities that the board have paid an absolute fortune for. But because the board paid an absolute fortune for, other fans then think, oh well, you spent 80 million quid on Maguire. You've got one of the best centre backs in the world. So it's kind of okay. 1 minute we've got best centre back in the world, but then the other minute we've got a Clammy. Which agenda are we running with today? Because when you've got McSauce, who had some signs of being a great centre back a season and a half ago, centre mid season and a half ago, hasn't really been consistent. Fred, who is still, in my opinion, will never be a United player. Maguire, and then at times we've had fullbacks that have been world class, and then fullbacks that haven't. There's been no consistency. So there's issues on the pitch that some can be fixed, some can't. But to say that we've got the best team that we've had since Fergie, I mean, Fergie left us with a team that was punching at that point in time, and we've just we've had managerial staff that should have had the prowess to fix that. But you can't go through Van Gaal, Moyes, Mourinho, and Ole, 4 completely different managers at different levels of their career that all kind of have the same level of calamity throughout their managerial reign. That's got to be something off the pitch, something with the hands in pies that shouldn't be in there. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to the eFootball / All Football / My Football / Your Football podcast. How are we doing? Hey,
do we run the titles again?
Yeah, let's start again. Let me jump back through the comments though. Morning, mate. Appreciate you dropping in. Always. I'm always watching, Wazowski. How cold are you right now, Mr. T? Asks Tito. I am back to this cold island. It's 30 degrees to 7 degrees. Yikes! Fun times. Chelsea appealing.
1 degree, Manchester.
What's that?
It was 1 degree this morning when I woke up in Manchester. 1 degree.
Yeah, same. I like when you do the stop your arm thing on an iPhone. It goes ba-dunk, and then it goes good morning, and gives you like a weather report for the whatever. Yeah, 1 degree. It's like got up, got outside, scraped all the ice off the car, did the school run. Fun times. If it was any other team, I'd feel okay talking about it in South London, but because it's Man U, I imagine 99% of the people around here are probably United fans, like the rest of the country. Apart from little pockets of Manchester that were all red, now all of a sudden have become blue over the last few years. I can't put my finger on it. Yeah, they'll put out a press release bragging about social media engagement. Though it's what United do. Well, this United, absolutely, and that's one of the worst things for me is watching how disconnected they are with football, but how very much connected they are with commercialism. And that's where the problem is. But anyway, just saying hi. Have a good night. Lurking. Thank you very much, Tazebad. Appreciate you dropping in from the other side of the world. Quick, Graham, reel him in. Fish on, says Nietzsche. Wait, why is Bibby hanging out at playgrounds? He didn't say that. Nonsense. McTominay is not a holding midfielder. McTominay is not a holding midfielder. We'll have 11 players being thrown together into a system simply to fit them in. They might be great players, slap it aside, but they ain't a great team. Loving the video game chat. Game even, says Gagad. It's funny because you always get someone that goes, loving the game chat after subscribing with ole, 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 ole. We are the Reds. We are the Reds. So yeah, nice one, Gagad. Let's go. How are we all doing though? We do have some video game news to talk to you guys. Is anyone in the chat a Star Wars fan? Anyone in the chat interested in some Star Wars Battlefront? Anyone in the chat interested in playing Star Wars Battlefront 3? Well, tough. Plans have been rejected by EA. Apparently, that is the lead story of the day. That is what we'll go through first. But I'm going to mute my mic. I'm going to cough.
Coughing noises.
And back in the room, less coughing noises. So we will start off by talking about Star Wars Battlefront 3. We will then jump into our next story of the day, which is around Grand Theft Auto 6. This was shared on our Discord by Mr. Lake. I don't know if he's in the chat. He might not be listening this morning, but GTA 6 potentially has had the first screenshot. This is only rumour, and we'll go through it all, but the GTA Trilogy could potentially have a sneaking of a GTA 6 screenshot in the game. We'll show you what it is, we'll talk about it, we'll get your thoughts and your impressions, as well as giving you ours. Then we'll go into a little bit more of a recap of what's happening around the industry. We've spoken about Bobby Kotick and Activision. Activision have been in hot water for about 6 months, well, a lot longer than that, but particularly over the last 6 months or so, and it kind of came to a head again last week with... was it the Wall Street Journal, I think it was, had an article that said that Bobby Kotick, CEO of Activision, knew about all of the dodgy shit that's been going on there and just ignored it. Now, according to a report, Bobby Kotick says he's going to consider leaving Activision. We'll go through why, the whats, the wheres and the hows. Then we'll jump into some more news on Halo Infinite, which feels like Master Chief's Breath of the Wild, apparently, according to Jeff Grubb at VentureBeat. And then if you've got a PS5... like Bibby has, but you're not a fan of the white faceplates like Bibby isn't, then do you know what? You can get some from D-Brand or wherever, some aftermarket parts, but official PS5 faceplates could be coming soon after Sony has filed a patent. We'll jump into that as our last story of the day, but as promised, we'll kick things off with a conversation of Star Wars Battlefront. Bib.
Yes.
We've played some Star Wars. We've played some Battlefront 2.
We have.
We've played it on PC. We played it on console.
We have.
You interested in playing a new one?
I am. I very much like Battlefield 2. Much better than the first one. So I eagerly await what happens or what could be coming in Battlefield 3.
Battlefront, but still, I know what you mean. But
sorry, yeah, Battlefront. My bad.
The answer to that question,
stupidly, it's the same fucking game, but slightly different name. Stupid thing.
To piss on your chips, there is no Battlefront 3. Andy Robinson at VGC says Star Wars Battlefront 3 plans were reportedly rejected by EA. DICE is instead working on another Battlefield project, it's claimed. So if you're loving life in Battlefield, that's good news for you. If you're not, and I know a lot of people aren't at the moment right now, unfortunate. But we'll jump into the body of the article. It says plans for a third Star Wars Battlefront title from Battlefield developer DICE were reportedly rejected by Electronic Arts, it's being claimed. According to journalist Tom Henderson, DICE had pitched Battlefront 3, but ultimately the proposal was rejected by EA due to the costs of using the Star Wars license. Quote, it got turned down because it takes 20% more sales to make the same money, one anonymous developer is quoted as stating. EA is now said to be focusing its efforts on the next Battlefield game instead, which Henderson suggests could release as soon as 2023. Excuse me. Several key developers behind the Battlefront series have recently left DICE, Henderson points out, including Battlefront 2's creative director Dennis Brandval, core gameplay designer Christian Johannese, and lead hero designer Guillaume Moroz. I'm assuming that's it. If it's wrong, I apologize. Which is a good point for me to mention. Exclamation mark. Bingo. That should give you a link to the ICU bingo card made by Vivalanco. Which I think it has mispronounced someone's name on that card. So there you go, take that one off. Nice. Battlefront 2 launched in November 2017 and received widespread criticism due to its reliance on loot boxes and microtransactions. These were quickly removed, and a generous post-release content roadmap was received favourably by fans, as if that was 4 years since it released. Madness. Lucasfilm film confirmed in January that its Star Wars exclusivity deal with EA was set to end by partnering with Ubisoft on a new open-world game, although EA responded by stating that its long-standing collaboration with Lucasfilm Games will continue for years to come. Adding some colour to those comments during EA's third quarter earnings call in February, CEO Andrew Wilson said the company would continue to invest in Star Wars games, new and old. Quote, if you look at our history with Star Wars, we've had a long and very profitable relationship with first with LucasArts or Lucasfilm, and then with Lucasfilm as part of Disney, he said. As we've established these very strong parts of that franchise, Wilson added, you should expect that we will continue to invest in those as well as some new experiences across platforms for the future. Okay, I will continue because this could frame some of the conversation that goes on as we jump into it. So Star Wars Squadron's developer Motive has said it's working on a new Star Wars action game, and EA suggested last year that it would create a Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order sequel after Respawn's 2019 game surpassed expectations with over 10 million sales. Okay, there we go. We'll leave it there. So, Star Wars Battlefront 3 plans rejected by EA. Do you know, this has actually been on my mind, genuinely. Not Battlefront 3, but Battlefront 2 has been on my mind pretty recently, because anyone that joined me on stream on Saturday will have realised, as I did on Friday night, I didn't realise that PUBG's Battle Pass, aka the Survivor Pass, as it's called in PUBG, I'm going to say Battle Pass because that's what people are aware of from Fortnite and things like that. So you usually get Battle Pass, Survivor Pass, Season Pass, whatever you want to call it. PUBG isn't getting another one of those for 5 months. There is no in-game content for 5 months other than partner drops. So if you're a Twitch partner, they will give you skins that you can get, that viewers can get for watching you on Twitch, which is actually a good function when used in conjunction with in-game content and when the skins aren't absolutely atrocious. But that's a different universe from the one that PUBG's in. Anyway, as a result of that, I've had a gap in my mind thinking, okay, am I going to continue playing with PUBG all the time? I mean, I still enjoy the game. I'm still going to keep playing it. But if I've got nothing to tick off, I kind of feel like I need something to gamify, to grind towards. And that's what I thought. Maybe Star Wars Battlefront 2. Maybe that is something that I jump back into. But anyway. Bib, Star Wars Battlefront 3 plans reported rejected by EA. What are your thoughts?
Did you just say PUBG is not getting any content for 5 months?
5 months.
Wow. And again, that's not the topic of this conversation, but that's caught me off guard a little bit. What is there any reason as to why?
Because PUBG.
Is it because they're doing the new state stuff? Is that due out soon?
Just PUBG.
Fucking hell. That is outrageous.
So I
didn't know that.
I missed it. It was in the patch notes, and I kind of like you start reading through the patch notes, and it's like, here's the new thing: smoke grenade launcher. We've added chickens to the map, obviously, random chickens that will just run around and give off your location. Oh, great, nice, and shit like that. But then, like, there's one line in it. It's like, please be aware that there will be no Survivor Pass until March 2022, and it's like, okay, all of November, all of December, all of January, all of February, and then we're into March. If that's 5 months if it doesn't land towards the end of March. If it could be one of those where actually we were hoping to land at March, but we're announcing it on the 30th of March. That it's actually coming on the 14th of April or something like that. So
that's outrageous. At least you'd start that off in the beginning of January or something. Wouldn't you get the Christmas out of the way? But again, I don't think the right people are looking after the stuff over there.
The current season pass finished about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and there has been no missions. So usually I'll jump on and tick off my dailies, which is, for those that don't know PUBG or Fortnite, whatever, PUBG usually has 3 dailies, which you get an easier one, a middle one, and a harder one. And then once you've ticked off all 3, you can spend some of your BP, which is in-game currency, to get 3 more dailies. So I effectively just do 6 dailies a day. Then every Thursday you get weeklies, which you pretty much finish off on Thursday anyway. And they help grind towards the battle pass. Little missions, because obviously for those that don't know, PUBG and Battle Royale, you are statistically more likely to lose a game. From the off, obviously, that weighting changes based on your skill, but you're more likely to lose more games than win. So if you just jump on for a few hours a night, you can go for a few days without getting a win sometimes, especially if you're playing solos like I do. So the fact that there's no content for 5 months, I'm looking at, what's going to be my Christmas game? Because my Christmas game is not going to be PUBG. Hands down, it hasn't been for the last 2 years anyway. I can't remember what we played last year, but the year before it was Fortnite, because lightsabers and shit. This year, I might get the lightsaber hype back out and jump into Battlefront 2, get the Celebration Edition going, and because there's still a lot of people playing that game, and the queue times will actually probably be much shorter than it is for a game that's still actually, I'm gonna say, still making content now, but actually no, it isn't. There we go.
But yeah, in terms of the Battlefront stuff, this is a sore subject for people who may not know about licensing issues, because they just think we can't just make a new one, but the cost of the license will be extortionate. And I didn't think they'd have to sell 20% more to be able to try and make the same money back that they would do if it wasn't a Star Wars game. But it kind of feels a little bit counterintuitive, that because people will buy it because it's a Star Wars game. Would people buy it if it was a completely different thing? If it was Shrek Battlefront or something like that, I don't know. That I would love to see. But it's very difficult to be able to make a game with a license like this and make sure that it sells well. I think they've done enough goodwill with Battlefront 2 with the set. Well, they brought in the Celebration Edition because I think people were starting to get behind it again. But from the controversial launch that they had to where they're at now with the game, they are miles away from each other. Do you know what I mean? So the people are actually willing to be able to play this game and be happy with it. Not just because of the loot box stuff, but because it's actually stuff that people want to do. They want to be able to try and get their character up to the max rank and have all of their weapons to be the best that they can. There's actually a progression for you to be able to go in there. Having bringing out a new one, if you are an avid Battlefront 2 player still now, chances are you probably will buy that. But after the controversy in the casual gamer, don't forget that companies who make video games rely on the casual gamers more than the hardcore. The hardcore will buy that game no matter what. Even if it comes out and it's duff day one, they would have still bought it, they will still play it. It's the casual gamers that they need to try and bring in. to buy that game and make them money. If they don't have that player base there, then they're not going to make any money. There, in the back of their minds, they may never have picked up Battlefront 2 again. So they have to rely on those people to now forget about what happened with Battlefront 2, then come in and buy Battlefront 3. It's a massive risk for them, and it doesn't surprise me now, thinking about it, that they don't want to make a third one. They'll probably just continue to use this for as long as they potentially can. I don't know whether or not they have a rolling license with Battlefront 2, or they can continue to use it because the license was for that game. They can just keep on whacking stuff on the top of it for people to be able to go and play through for the next 5 years if they need to. I just don't think it's worth them buying a third one at this moment in time.
See, I'm disappointed because I agree with huge chunks of that. Like, absolutely. Anyone that played Star Wars Battlefront, the first game, can fully agree with the sentiments of Mr. John Boyega himself. John Boyega at that point in time was he was unknown. Like when Star Wars Battlefront was being made and released, he was unknown. Nobody knew what FN, is it 187, whatever Finn from Star Wars. Nobody knew Finn. John Boyega was still a small actor. People knew of him, but nobody really knew of him. And he tweeted out going, do you know what? This Star Wars Battlefront is ridiculously good, but why can't I play any sort of single player? Where's the campaign? Where's the story mode? I want to get involved. And Battlefront, EA were like, yep. And they were like interacting with them on social media. It was like, okay, this is exceptional. Because not only is this game ridiculously good, if you didn't play the first Star Wars Battlefront, the balancing of that game was incredible. Really, really good. Genuinely. I mean, there was no real end game. You got to level 50 in no time, and then there was nowhere else to go. It was like, oh, great. So because there's no single player, there was no expansion really. It was just a bit meh. It was an exceptional grounding of game that just needed something better. Then along comes Star Wars Battlefront 2, where they add the universe on top of it. And it's like, ooh, but completely changed the mechanics for me. Obviously, it went to the class system, which works well in other games. Like Bibby said, he called it Battlefield by accident because it is Battlefield, but with a different skin. Instead of your gun going, it goes pew pew, and that's it. Everything else kind of the same, which is really good because Battlefield, when it works well, is exceptionally well made. Star Wars' audio, though, when you're in a battle, is chef's kiss, full on. It's wonderful. Fucking thermal detonators and oh my god, give it all. TIE fighters flying overhead, lightsabers as someone hero runs past you as well. It's exceptional. Obviously, it was crap because it was heavily based. I mean, they mentioned that there was two people of notability. So the creative director, Dennis Branval, and the core gameplay designer, Christian Johannese, they both left. Get out. I mean, it's a bit harsh. It's probably not all of them, but particularly gameplay designer. It's probably not on them. It's probably one of those where it's like a panel of people made the decisions to make the game heavily loot box focused. And whoever was in the decision to make the game have no real end game other than grinding gacha boxes, whoever decided to make Star Wars be random RNG based gameplay has done this dirty, because if this game would have been a massive success, then they're saying we need to sell 20% more to make the same money. Mm-hmm. If you make a Star Wars Battlefront game that's good, you will sell 20% more and then some. But they're not convinced that the selling power of Star Wars. And I'm thinking, if you're not convinced of the selling power of Star Wars, it's because of what you do to it. Make a good Star Wars game, and you will sell the amount of copies that you need. But you made a half-assed Star Wars game that was rushed out quickly to get it in time for Christmas, alongside The Force Awakens, which people like me loved, but everyone else not so much. Then you made an exceptionally well-made game eventually. Having the Celebration Edition come out like 2 years after whatever it was, I'm pretty sure it was like mid 2018 to 2019 kind of. No, it came out in 2017, the first one, so it'd have been maybe 2018, Christmas 2018, end of the year.
I was at Jelly because Lee was Lee bought it while we was in the office.
Yeah, and we covered it on the scoop and everything. We then went on to say how even though it was good, the best Star Wars game at the time was Fortnite, which was bizarre.
yeah, that was it. Yeah,
So
that was it. That was incredible. Wow.
Yeah, you want to play a great Star Wars game, then you could play Battlefront. If you want to play a great Star Wars game that's free, then you could play Battlefront. If you want to play a great Star Wars game, then play Fortnite because lightsabers. Fuck yeah. So like, it's a shame. It genuinely is a shame because I want to get immersed into the world of Battlefront. Annoyingly, we tried to play it on PC and just couldn't stream it on my setup, one PC setup with the complexity of our stream and running Star Wars Battlefront, which is kind of a resource hog because it goes through Origin, which just takes all of the resources. It wasn't possible to play it and stream it. I'm still considering digging out my Star Wars Battlefront 2 like Deluxe Stormtrooper edition for the PS4 and sticking that in the console and doing some Star Wars Battlefront 2 grinding. Maybe on stream, maybe not. But that's partially because of PUBG. But so to wrap that back into Battlefront 3 reportedly being rejected, that is heartbreaking because I'm still considering going back to play Battlefront 2, maybe even going back to play Battlefront. I mean, I'm not now because there will still be people playing that game and they will be absolute legends. Their map knowledge after fucking 7 years of playing that game, it'd be like Spawn Dead. Okay.
Yeet Halo gut eat Halo gut eat Halo gut eat.
Someone's excited about Halo.
Eat Halo gut 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 eat Halo.
Nice. Got to eat Halo. Got to eat Halo. Halo is in the conversations for the Gotti then, is it? Nice. Are you enjoying Halo, Mr. NX Yeet? Bacon Chin, good afternoon. How is the jersey? Is it magical and beautiful and everything you wanted it to be?
I saw it live on stream on Saturday afternoon.
Oh, did you?
I was watching him play Forza. Yeah, he was giving it all the modelling poses.
Nice. I'm going to go back and clip it all. Absolutely clip it, frame it digitally forever.
Frame it.
Excuse me. Wow. Mrs. Bibby takes a lurk. Bibby was telling us the other day that you know what exclamation mark lurk means now. So there you go. Nice. Welcome to the world of Twitch. In a time where EA lost their Star Wars exclusivity. Oh, it's gone. Says Sheepfragger, they should be doubling down and making even higher quality games. It should have been a kick up the ass to improve. I guess they just went F it. Do you know what, Sheepfragger? Sentiment exactly. Because I was a bit bummed when EA lost their Star Wars exclusivity. Because if you look at where we came from to where we finished up, we got Star Wars Battlefront, which was, it needed more. You could see there's a great game, or the start of a great game in there, and it needed like season 2 or the second DLC or whatever, part 2 to make the game finished. So when you get Battlefront 2 and it's just gone filthy, dirty, greedy. But by the time Battlefront 2 finished its content life cycle, we had Jedi Fallen Order in 2019, Star Wars the Celebration Edition, and Fortnite. There was just Star Wars everywhere, and it's like, this is good now. We've got Fortnite doing Star Wars really well, which is a lightsaber jab. Well, maybe not, because that would just like instantly fry you. But like, yeah, you know, the hilt of a lightsaber then. Come on, up your ideas. And EA had realised it for themselves, partially because of their own internal reasons, partially because Disney had made them realise you need to sort this shit out. So we got Jedi Fallen Order, which for me in 2019 was my game of the year. That was my game of the year, hands down. Even though it was buggy, I enjoyed it so much that it gave me what I needed for that year. So we got that and the Celebration Edition of Star Wars Battlefront 2, which made the game excellent, genuinely excellent. At that point, I thought, okay, EA know now. It's like he's starting to believe. The Matrix Neo sort of moment. And then it was like, bullets and shit stopping in the air, and then it goes to somewhere else. And it's like, oh, fuck. They've just figured it out, and now they've lost it. And because they've lost exclusivity, that means they're not destined to just get your Star Wars sales. If they release a subpar Star Wars game and Ubisoft release an excellent open world game, and was it IO Interactive? Oh no, that's they're working on James Bond, and then there was an Indiana Jones game as well. But other people release Star Wars games that are good. EA don't necessarily get your money guaranteed. and they've gone, do you know what? We don't want the risk. We needed to sell more. We needed to sell more and not just make the game good, but we have to worry about other people making one better. It's like, believe in yourself. You have the ability. You've got the history and you've got the functions, the engines, the staff, the team, the understanding, the scars that you've earned through the previous battles to help you make the right decisions going forward, and you've just dropped it. It's disappointing. Mega disappointing. God damn it. Tito says, only one thing for it, Graham. Buy an Xbox, get Game Pass, where for a low monthly fee of under $10.99, you get access to hundreds of games, including day one releases and even EA games. And you can even get the first 3 months for £1 and play Halo. I'll be honest, I'm getting bored typing that now. To typing.
That command.
Do we need to? Okay, let me just type exclamation mark Game Pass. Pop. Hey! Did you know that if you have an Xbox, you can get Game Pass where for a low month fee of $10 and you can get access to hundreds of games, including release and even EA games, and you can even get the first 3 months for £1. There you go, Tito. I saw your I'm getting tired of typing that and added it whilst Bibby was telling the start of that bit. So if you heard me clacking my keyboard, that was why. There you go. Saved you a task. I can't remember who said it, but they were on about franchise-based games in general, not just Star Wars, and said if you build it, they will come. If you build it good, then they will stay. Exactly. And that's the thing. I stayed with Star Wars Battlefront for way longer than I should have done because it came out in like September. I got it for Christmas. And in that year, has anyone seen those like X-Rocker gaming chairs where it's basically like a horseshoe shape that's got like subwoofer built in the back of it and then headrest speakers and stuff? You pretty much sat in a seat-shaped speaker, which is easy for you to say. A sheet-shaped speaker. Anyway, Danielle got me one of those chairs in like 2017, 15, whenever the first one came out, first Star Wars Battlefront came out. And sitting in that chair when you basically got speakers all around, listen to the it's fucking incredible. And then when you've got the sound of like thermal detonators and stuff, like I say, the TIE fighters, that's when I talk about Star Wars, that's instant where I'm transported to. Being sat in that seat, I mean, don't get me wrong, getting a 7.1 headset is by far and away better than that. I mean, maybe not the feeling of the vibrations and the rumble of the speakers and stuff, because that kind of added to it all. But yeah, that is perfect. So build it good. Build it, they'll come. Build it good, and they will stay. I stayed. I didn't start playing it until Christmas because I got it for Christmas. It came out in September. A lot of people had given up on it by then because it didn't have 3 months worth of content. But I played another 6 months on that. So I was 9 months into a game. So there was... nobody was playing it. No, me and Steve from work were the only people that were playing it. Steve was a fucking god on that game as well, by the way. He'd been playing it for 3 months before I got there, and it was like I was the Padawan. He was the full-on Jedi. But yeah, build a Star Wars game good, and people are happy enough to stay. People have stayed with that franchise till before Disney picked it up. So there are fans that are willing to stay. There are new fans that are Disney fans that are willing to stay. You build a good Star Wars game, you'll satisfy not only the old school original trilogy and then the prequel trilogy, but then the sequel trilogy fans. That's 3 different generations of Star Wars fans that are sat waiting for that. So it's a shame to see EA turn their back on this. Anyway, putting a pin in the Star Wars conversation, Ubisoft are doing on, let's be honest, it'll be open world. It is open world. It is. Ubisoft's game is open world. I think it even mentioned that in this, actually. Let me do a Control and F for you. Oh, no.
I've got no objections with that.
Me neither.
I have 0 objections. I think that'll be amazing. If you could fly between worlds and stuff like that, that would be amazing.
Do you know, I probably can't find it, but maybe 2012-ish, maybe even earlier than that, I tweeted, I think I found it on stream once before, the idea of a GTA sort of game where you can just like run around freely going and doing little side missions and drinking some pissvasser in a bar or whatever. That. Miss Wolverine, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome into the stream. Do you know what? I'm going to have to roll over. Do you know, I'm not going to roll anywhere, but you can see them on the screen. Let me go to there. Miss Wolverine, you can see we've got some Wolverine claws there. There you go. Yeah. But yeah, I wrote it saying I'd like a GTA-esque style game, but kind of No Man's Sky sort of crossover, like where you can just get in a, rather than getting in a whatever the fast car is on GTA, rather than getting in one of those and driving around, I want to get in an X-Wing and then fly off into space, No Man's Sky-ish, and go somewhere else. I mean, obviously, the amount of like resources that it would take to be able to do that game, especially in something that looks as good as GTA, we're probably 2050 before we get that in a sort of game. but just the
It'll be amazing though.
Yeah, so something like that, something, or even just proper open world, some way of just going from Tatooine, which could be one like closed off area, to Hoth, to Endor, to on the Death Star or whatever. Wait, yes, please. Mm-hmm. Maybe not getting that from Ubisoft, but something Star Wars open world. We've seen enough of the Star Wars world now for someone to dream up a proper open world game. I'd be open for it. And Ubisoft do make good open worlds. They just don't fill them with very good content usually, apart from grind. So that's the only thing. However, Disney is very good at helping with content creation. So if Disney are putting them on track going, actually, no, that's shit. We don't approve that. There's no storyline there. You're just making me chop down a tree on Endor that Ewoks live in over and over again to grind extra bits of wood over and over again. I'm open for a Ubisoft game. I just want Ubisoft to learn from Ubisoft's mistakes recently. That's the thing. The grass is never greener. Ubisoft they make massive games, not necessarily the greatest games. EA DICE have made some massive Star Wars games, not necessarily the greatest games, but EA were getting there. So it's a shame to see them moving away from it. Noob says, morning all, just joined and here GTA. Hey. We're actually talking about we're actually talking about Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront 3 has reportedly been rejected by EA. EA DICE pitched it. Electronic Arts said, nah, it costs too much to get the Star Wars license. We're not going to make Star Wars Battlefront 3. We'll work on a different Battlefield instead. That was the conversation. Miss Wolverine says, hello from Australia. Hey. Do you know, I have to say this because I say it to all new Australian viewers. I am an honorary Australian because my name is Graham Day, which is good day. Good day, mate. So yeah, there you go. Welcome into the stream. Nice. Love the setups. Thank you very much. It's not
sticking around, are you?
It's not the first time I've said it. It's probably not going to be the last. If you want to leave, we understand. It's fine. Noobs. There you go. Noobs on my wavelength says good day. GG.
Never sticking around. I'm not even going to apologize.
I'm not going to apologise. I'm going to apologise to absolutely no one at all, mate. Star Wars hit and run. That'll work. Exactly. There you go.
That'll be amazing.
Just imagine.
That would be amazing.
It's not the Star Wars. I don't know what I want from a Star Wars game. Do you know what? I can't tell.
I do. You've literally just explained it. I want an open world Star Wars game.
Oh, no.
Where...
Yeah. I
mean,
in
a GTA Online world. That'd be amazing. Imagine that.
Like going to see Greedo to get some parts for your X-Wing.
Yeah.
Not
like it literally in a world that's like GTA Online, where there's just NPCs that you can go and get. Just basically a Star Wars MMO. That is what I want, I think. I think that would be incredible because you could just keep on putting expansion packs on the top of it.
Yeah, it's like,
sure. How has this not been done yet?
You just mooch around like, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna like. You could do the GTA stuff. You go to the Mos Eisley Cantina on Tatooine. Have yourself a few too many Bantha milks and just like waddle back home kind of thing, like off your face. Rather than doing races that you get in GTA, go pod racing. Yeah, fuck yeah.
How has this not been done yet? Right, Graham. Fuck. Turn this stream off. We're gonna create a pitch. we're gonna do a deck right this very second.
This pitch. Do you know what? I'll find the tweet. I'll share it on Ice Cream Uploads' Twitter in a bit. I'll show it you. Say, look, we've been thinking about this for a long old time. It would be 100%. I will take that all day. Yes, please. Bad dad joke. Good eye, mate. Star Wars X GTA. I think you may be on something. We are. Do you know what? We'll get the pitch drawn up. I think. Do you think like half a side of A4 is enough for a full game pitch?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, if you print it off. If you print off your tweet, put it on A0, and then you're good to go, aren't you? That's the biggest pitch you're going to do.
Oh, big fonts. Nice. Yeah. Get a picture of the ICU seems good. Just get like that spammed at the bottom of it. There we go. So just stick 1,000 of these on the bottom of it. Yeah.
There you go. Perfect. I mean, how can I turn that down?
So yeah, we appreciate you dropping into the podcast, guys. However, this is going to be the last episode because we are off to make billions. So yeah, sorry, mate. Anyway, on to a different story. That's enough of Star Wars Battlefront 2. Wezza! Good morning. How we doing? How we doing, sir? And we all get a share of the profits. Do you know what? If we earn billions, I will happily give you all a quid each, maybe 2.
Absolutely. Share the wealth.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'll give you all a free sub, so we get the profit back off it. Obviously.
A Subway sub?
We had one of those on Saturday, actually. Italian BMT. Nice, decent, nice.
Fantastic choice.
It's good. Next news story, though. Enough of Star Wars. Let's talk about GTA, as soon as we were already talking about it. This one was actually submitted to us on the Discord, ! Discord in the chat. If you aren't part of our Discord, this was submitted by Lake. We have a channel called The Scoop where you can share the news with us, and that's exactly what he did with the article that says, GTA 6 fans think Rockstar snuck a first screenshot into the GTA trilogy. A free sub. Can I have a foot long? Of course you can. Do you know what? I'll give you one right now. Not like that. Easy tiger. There you go. There's your foot long sub in the chat. There you go. Hey.
Always prepared.
You are?
Oh, you're always prepared, aren't you?
Goddamn right.
If any joke, you always got to prepare. You're always prepared. That's what I like about you.
Yeah, people think this shit happens by accident. You can't be this consistently below par without meaning to be. So yeah, GTA 6, fans think Rockstar snuck a first screenshot into the GTA trilogy. A simple picture of a house or a complex marketing plan? You decide. I'm going to stop for just a second. If someone says a simple picture of a house or a complex marketing plan, which way are you going to lean? Because I know which way I'd lean initially. However, let's get into it. So this is written by Joe Skrebels at IGN. This article is actually from IGN Nordic, but I believe it will be available across all IGN global sites. But a single image of a house in the remastered version of GTA San Andreas has sparked fan speculation that it is, in fact, the first screenshot of Grand Theft Auto 6. Imagine that, GTA doing like a Phil Spencer moment where he's got his Xbox Series S on the shelf behind him. Whew. Anyway, posted on GTA forums, the image is found among photos on the wall of San Andreas UA-themed Little Probe Inn, and somewhat appropriately has kicked off a new conspiracy theory that Rockstar has surreptitiously took the first image of GTA 6 into its latest remasters. Also, 10 out of 10 for using the word surreptitiously. I never get to use that word very often, to be fair. I usually don't know what it means, but it's nice. Yeah. So the image, which you can see in the tweet below, both as an in-game screenshot and an artificially up-resed version, simply shows a front-on view of a nondescript house, albeit with a UFO hanging above it. The intrigue comes from the fact that even the most ardent GTA fans can't seem to locate where that house model has come from. The high quality of the visuals in the image means fans don't think it comes from the GTA trilogy itself, but the house seemingly can't be found inside GTA 5 either. That's inevitably led to discussion around where the image has come from and why Rockstar would include it, especially in a room full of UFO references, famously one of the GTA series' hotbeds of fan theory crafting. Previous rumours have suggested that GTA 6 could return to a Miami-inspired setting, and that's Vice City, by the way. And GTA forum user Igrabar tracked down a real-life house in Boca Raton, just north of Miami, that bears striking similarities to the screenshot. Rockstar is known for reimagining real-life buildings inside its fictional cities, and fans have latched onto the idea that this image is a concrete hint to the setting. As enticing as all this is, it's of course nothing more than speculation at this point. The image could just easily be an unused concept imagery, environmental testing, or simply an image made or repurposed for the game. We've contacted Rockstar for comments. Okay, babe, I'm going to click on the tweet to bring the image up on screen. Have you seen the image yet?
I have.
So this is from a tweet from @KirstyCloud, where the tweet says, another GTA trilogy, Mr. Hunt, the Little Probe Inn has an unidentified house amongst the UFO photo display. GTA 6, ? Joke, or am I? Where is this from? Credit to Arthur Zussman, Mustaface03, and Mr. Carhead for these images. So there we go. This is the image. So that is the low-res version of the image. Then we flick to the next one. Actually, no, that's the low res, should I say. So we get the higher res version of the image where they've cleaned it out so you can see what the house is. So that's a house that doesn't exist in any Grand Theft Auto game so far, or so people believe. There's the original. And then we get a picture of what that looks like in the setting within the Little Probe Inn within the game. And then there we go. That's what all the pictures on the wall look like, and that's it. I'll jump back in just a second. I'll show that side by side real life house stuff. But Bib, what are your thoughts?
Yes. You can't really put anything past Rockstar to do something like this. Do you know what? Genuinely, yes, it could be. And it could just be a nice little Easter egg for people to be able to find. Or it could just be they needed an asset, so they've gone onto Fiverr or any kind of copyright-free site and just plopped one in there. But they don't usually put stuff in there for no reason. So yeah, genuinely, it could be. If they haven't gotten it, if even the hardest or the most hardened GTA players can't find that house anywhere and they haven't recollected it on any of the Grand Theft Auto games, then maybe. But it just could be a wild coincidence as well. This is definitely something that there was maybe wanting to catch fire. Maybe not. Maybe there's someone just done it in there for a joke. Genuinely, we have no idea. But as a whole, it wouldn't surprise me if that is the case. I think they are very good at marketing stuff, Rockstar, and I think this could genuinely be something that could be in GTA 6. At the same time, it could be they just found something that was copyright free and then just put it in the game, or they've just drawn it out themselves. Like, who knows? Who genuinely knows? But us as GTA fans and people who are super fans will find stuff like this. I never in a million years would have looked at that picture and thought, that's GTA 6 right there.
Nope.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's a completely different mindset that someone's gone into there to be able to find that kind of thing. But that's what the it's for. We mentioned this last week or the week before when we was talking about the definitive edition. There will be playtesters that would have played the ever-loving shit out of that game and they would have picked stuff up and then put that back in for people to fix later down the line or fix as soon as possible. If you want someone to find something wrong with your game, just send it out and there'll be millions of people that will give you feedback on that game. No matter how many times I would have played this stuff, I mean, I would go back into Vice City and San Andreas now and still find stuff that I didn't see 14, 15 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just going to go on straight over my head. Didn't really pay that much attention to it. But if you want something found, people will find it in games like this. Genuinely.
The thing for me is there's a lot of evidence that kind of points towards this being something that we should pay attention to. The fact that this is a brand new house, a brand new asset that's been put into the game. Someone has taken the time to replace an older asset and put this asset in the game with a house that we've never seen before. So for them to go and render out a 3D house and put that in an image in the game just for the sake of it being put on the wall, that's a lot of work for just an image. So the house looks like it's from Miami, Florida-ish sort of way, which is where the rumors that we covered about 18 months ago were that Rockstar were rumored to be location scouting Miami areas is where Vice City was from. So we're going back to the Vice City sort of roots. However, the caveat is we've seen a lot of these internet sleuths making those sort of connections. We had that earlier this year with Blue Box Games and the Kojima Silent Hill remake that was coming. What did that actually... I can't remember what it actually turned out to be called again now. The one from Hassan Karaman at Blue Box. What is it?
Abandoned.
Abandoned. There you go. So we've seen that level of digging around and trickery. And don't get me wrong, it's good to see people use their investigative minds to unpick stuff. Like watch Don't Fuck With Cats on Netflix, which is a fucking really good internet sleuth sort of like docudrama kind of thing. Really good. Definitely worth watching. You can see that in this screenshot. So this is the screenshot. This is Igrabar from the forum mentioned within the article. This is just the actual embedded within the article, still within the website. Just clicked on it to bring it onto a separate screen. And it shows you the in-game house on the right, which is here, versus another house in Boca, is it Roca Baton? Is that what it's called? Just north of Miami on the left. You can see very similar house. It's almost like, oh yeah, that's definitely the same house. I mean, the thing is the reason that house has probably been designed on the right is because it's probably a very standard style for the region kind of thing. Most houses will be cookie cutter stuff in that sort of area because there will have been the same developer that's got the same architect to make the same design that they can deploy over and over and over again. So the fact that they found a house that looks very much like it with a tree and blue skies and clouds and trees and stuff, okay, that's great, but there's probably a lot more as well. That said, it could be the same house. I mean, what do I know? It could be the same house that they based it on. There's a lot of similarities, but there's not really a lot you can get wrong there. You've got a garage on the left, garage on the right, building on the left with a door, which is kind of what you'd expect. I mean, that could be Walter White's house from Breaking Bad for all I know. He's got a very similar drive going up to his kind of thing. So, yeah, it's the southern states of North America have a very similar sort of style. Whilst it looks compelling, when you see the facts, you suddenly start to go, "Ooh, okay, this is weighing up. This is definitely weighing up." But the same thing happened with Abandoned, so it could just be some developer has got, actually, I need a new asset for this wall in the little pro bin because the last one we had was like super low res. We need it to be upscaled to 1080p minimum, and it looks proper shit. It jars with everything else on the wall. So I'm just going to quickly render off this house that we've never used for anything, and just stick a UFO on the top of it, and we'll save that as a still image and we'll put that in. It could just be a case of, I need a picture, I can make one quickly, there we go. And people at Rockstar now are sat there going, fuck, that image that Jimmy made, everyone's talking about it, we only needed a picture for that bit. And Jimmy's like, oh shit, I didn't even know if I'd known that.
I mean, the difficult thing that they've got is, do they ever bring out a GTA 6? Like, I think the only realistic time that they can ever bring out a new Grand Theft Auto is when GTA 5 Online just stops being as popular as it is, but that will never slow down. The problem they've got is if they bring out a GTA 6, it's going to cannibalize itself by its exact product, just the generation before. At this moment in time, it's nearly it's going to be 3 generations before. GTA 5 will cannibalize it but to no end, because they will still continue to bring out content for 5. There is a reason we haven't had a single player expansion for GTA 5. Why? Because more people are playing GTA Online. I would have loved to have seen the story continue with GTA 5, with Mike, Franklin, and Trevor, that's it. Probably the most famous one. I forget his name.
I always forget the other two, so it's good that we kind of gel together. Then I go Trevor and I remember Franklin, but I always forget Mike. I just got straight out of mind. Even though he looks like Ray Liotta, side by side. Although Ray Liotta's voice is in Vice City, which completely sends me west. But yeah, can't remember him at all.
Like, having an expansion on that would have been fantastic, and I think people would still buy the game now to play an expansion of that story, but we never got it because why? GTA Online came out and it took the world by storm and will continue to take the world by storm. I don't see them ever wanting to bring a GTA 6 out until GTA Online stop making money as it does. It's bizarre that we're in a world like that now, but it's a Goliath. If you look at the video game charts now, GTA will still be in there being sold. It's outrageous. They could give the game away and people are still buying
on every platform pretty much. And then people go, oh shit, yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah, nice. It is kind of, it's amazing and frustrating at the same time, because you'll see Call of Duty will go, well, we're not going to have a campaign this year, and then just release the game. Battlefield could do the same. So many other games that have campaigns go, sack it, we'll ditch the campaign so we can make an online version, a battle royale or whatever. Because pound for pound, okay, we'll sell the game, but a lot of people are just never going to play the campaign. And so a lot of people will do for 8 hours, and then they'll finish it and go into the main game, and they'll spend money. So why don't we just focus on that 8 hours? If we put that into the multiplayer, we get even more money. Cha-ching! Which is great from a business sense. It's just a shame from an actual gameplay sense. Jumping into the chat though, Ad says GTA 5 Undead Nightmare. Unimagine. I hated Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. Fucking horrible. Which is disappointing, because I got Red Dead Redemption. I got like a press preview code. That was when I was still working as freelance at Jelly Media. Mark actually had a spare like preview code, and he gave it to me. He's like, oh, you can have that. Nice. Red Dead Redemption was amazing. Me and Danielle sat there for ages. She was like my eyes and ears. She'd be like, oh, stop, grab that bush. You need to harvest that. Oh, you need to kill the wolf and take blah 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 whatever. So we played through that whole game. Exceptional. She then got me Undead Nightmare for my birthday 10, 12 years ago, whatever it was. Crap. Played it for about 3 hours, turned it off. It was like when you get the gangs in Grand Theft Auto. Oh, someone's fighting in our district downtown. We need to go and stop that fight. And you go down and shoot 6 people, and then you've taken it back over again. It was just that, but with zombies. It was garbage, which was a shame. Okay, jumping back up. That's probably the only thing they snuck into those remakes. Looking at the gameplay, yeah, they snuck everything out. I can't see a GTA 6 coming, says Noob. Whatever. In terms of, you think that they'll just keep with what they're doing now? Or it's literally just something completely random, has nothing to do with anything. Gamers will reach for anything these days. It's almost as bad as Metal Gear Solid, a lot looking for cryptic stuff. Exactly. It could be, genuinely could just be an artist has mocked up an image using what looks like it could be a detailed render, but could actually be a really easy procedurally generated render, and just gone, there we go, we'll stick that in as an image because it's HD rather than like old school console resolution. It's probably just new content coming to GTA 5. GTA 6 will be set in Florida and probably 2 other cities or islands, says Ads. That's a fake. With all those corners, they should be rounded off if it's in the GTA trilogy. Yeah, it's not a square house. It should just be a round one, like a ball kind of thing. Yeah. Too many hints to Florida in the GTA trilogy, says Ads. I'm going to jump on GTA and hunt the house, says Noob. Do it! If you find anything that looks like it, send us the pictures. Scribblers, nice. It's an IRL house in Florida. Someone found it in Google Maps. Apparently, the house is actually owned by a Rockstar employee, a certain voice actor. I mean, and that could be true, though, because you will often find developers do that sort of shit anyway, because if someone has a house that I can go, do you have a good picture of it? And you give it to me, I can use that as the foundation. A lot of art comes from what people see and know from research, and sometimes that research is just existing as a person. Quite a lot of people will take their own real world experiences and influences and put them into video games. So that wouldn't surprise me if it was a Rockstar employee. I'd actually be more surprised if they just went and scraped a house off the internet, because there's potential worms there. GTA 6 reveal at the Game Awards? Question mark, says Ad. Switch Pro by Breath of the Wild 2 is my Game Awards prediction, though. I think you're probably more likely with the Switch Pro Breath of the Wild 2 than GTA 6. Although with the fact that they just released a Switch, I think it's Nintendo. I do think a Switch Pro is still on the cards, but Nintendo will squeeze the life out of the new OLED Pro before they go Pro, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to click on that link. The link that I put into the chat was from a documentary that I watched over the weekend about Grand Theft Auto, coincidentally. Does anyone watch any gaming documentaries from gamers? Like, it's one of the best channels on YouTube that do massive deep dives into anything video game related. It could be a franchise, it could be a console or whatever, but that's the one that I watched this weekend regarding Grand Theft Auto. It's definitely worth a watch if you've not watched it. It's outstanding.
That's a new one on me. I've never watched any of their stuff. I'm going to click it. That can be my listen along as I'm working in the afternoon.
It's like an hour long. It's definitely worth, like, if you are a fan of Grand Theft Auto and you have been from the beginning, like looking at the transitions throughout the years and the stories that went around making each one, it's incredible. It's a fantastic watch. If anyone's ever watched their content, they do such a deep dive. It's worth a subscription. And I wouldn't usually promote other people's stuff because why would you? Like, if you're on a video, if you're on stuff like this, yeah. But yeah, that's definitely. I'd absolutely encourage you to go over that stuff and watch all of their stuff. It's amazing.
By the way, guys, if you just want to send us the check for that promo through the post, that'd be fine. I mean, whatever digitally works, whatever, it's fine. Yeah, nice. GTA 5 Undead Nightmare, imagine best DLC ever made. Can we just get a mod to just ban ads into oblivion? Thank you very much. No, it's terrible. To me, that just likes the exterior shot of the house from the Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend. I've said it for years, says Timeless. Rockstar don't need to make GTA 6 due to making money hand over fiat with the online mode. No, I get it. Hand over fist, obviously. Yeah, they don't need to, but that's the thing, though. There's a phrase, if you're not moving forward, you're standing still. Shout out to Gary Witter, Kind of Funny Games. And Rockstar have never been one to stand still. So eventually GTA 5 will reach saturation. That should have been about 6 years ago. Somehow it's not there yet. Not that I'm disappointed that it's still going. I'm surprised that it's still going. That's why, in my mind, I thought it would have saturated and moved on 5-6 years ago. We'd have had GTA 6 already. It will come, and I can see it coming in the next few years, but there's strong cases that it's not going to be before 2024. So we've still got two years-ish until the next game's at the earliest. 25 is other rumours. So, yeah, it could be coming. Maybe not until midway through the next gen. This gen, should I say, not next gen.
GTA 5, PS5, next gen coming out as well. This gen, current gen, coming out soon as well, aren't we? So the juggernaut keeps on going.
Absolutely. I'm not a GTA 5 fan at all. Red Dead for me over GTA end of the day. I mean, I rate Red Dead Redemption higher than GTA 4 or 5. I think San Andreas and Vice City will still both be above Red Dead Redemption for me. I never finished Red Dead Redemption 2 though, so it kind of lost me a little bit there. Not that it was terrible. It was definitely no Undead Nightmare, but it wasn't as good as Red Dead Redemption 1. Anyway, Eternal Lee, good afternoon. I've never agreed with you more, Graham. Undead Nightmare was absolutely shocking. This man knows. Yeah. I was talking about you the other day, Undead Lee, when we were talking about the Game Awards. I can't remember what it was. It was something to do with the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley and stuff. And I mentioned your tweets and I was going to show them on stream and then you deleted them. So I didn't. Never mind. But I agreed with them either way. Zelda double pack. It was the fact that Forza Horizon 5 had not been nominated for Game of the Year, despite Metacritic and user scoring higher than the other games that were in the category. And everyone's saying it came out too late, despite the fact that it was already nominated for best sports/racing game. So yeah, it was that sort of stuff. Anyway, Zelda double pack, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess remake. Is that Princess? I don't know enough about Zelda. So yeah. Yes, always, says Ads. I love those type of videos. Exclamation mark, ban ads. Sorry, ads, you're out of here. Get out of here. If I'm right about the Switch Pro, Nintendo better hire me. I mean, the problem...
You've been doing it for 2 years.
I mean, we could just... Do you know, I'm going to start it now. GTA 7. When they release the 7th GTA game, Rockstar will hire me. I mean, it's going to be about 15, 20 years' time now because, you know, product cycles. But we'll just do it. Yeah. So there was an article ages ago that Take-Two, owners of Rockstar, didn't want them to focus on single player because they make more money online. I hope they don't listen to them. I swear some of these companies that own developers know nothing about what gamers want. It was also... We did cover that article. It was also more games as well. So not just big games that make shit tons of money, more games more often as well is what Take-Two wanted, which is natural. That's business sense. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because while GTA is a phenomenal cash cow, if, let's say, GTA did something catastrophically wrong and, to use a very up-to-date word, it got cancelled. GTA 6 got cancelled. What does Rockstar do then if they put all their eggs in that basket? So I can understand the diversification. I can understand the profit chasing. But yeah, you obviously, naturally, gamers want the bit of the spread. And they will too, guaranteed. It's just a matter of, obviously, sometimes the balance doesn't always go perfectly. It leans one way rather than another. Game of the Year is a scam. Our votes count as only 10%. Says Ads. Always take it with a pinch. Always take it with a pinch. Do you know what? We'll give you our Game of the Year stuff at Christmas. Like we did last year, we'll probably shut down for Christmas a little early, but pre-record our Game of the Year stuff. So you'll have something to watch Christmas Day, Boxing Day-ish sort of time. And we'll let you know our Games of the Year. But it's just our recommendations. Nice. Game of the Year conversation without Forza Horizon 5 is not a conversation. Amen. And I don't play racing games, and I'm not. I've not played Forza Horizon 5, but for me, just looking at, I've not played any of the other games really in the conversation for Game of the Year, but for that to not be there is catastrophe for me. Anyway, we are overrunning. I'm going to run through these next 3 stories. We'll wrap things up, so I'll pretty much just get the headlines, and we'll not have much time to talk about these. So we'll just go for a bit of a roundup approach to these ones. This is more of an update on where we were last week, as Jody Macgregor at the PC Gamer has the story that, according to a report, Bobby Kotick says he'll consider leaving Activision. This then goes into the tagline: If he can't fix Activision's problems fast, Kotick says he'll consider leaving, the Wall Street Journal has reported. And then into the body it says, 5 days after the Wall Street Journal reported that Bobby Kotick once told an assistant he was going to have her killed, fuck! The publication has now reported Activision's CEO told senior managers he'd consider leaving the company if he couldn't fix its culture of misconduct, quote, with speed. According to the Wall Street Journal sources, last week Kotick held meetings with senior staff of both Activision and Blizzard, and it was during the meeting with Blizzard on Friday that Kotick said he'd consider leaving, though there's plenty of wiggle room in those words. In a November 16th video message shared with employees, Kotick said, quote, "We are moving forward with a new zero-tolerance policy for inappropriate behaviour, and zero means zero. Any reprehensible conduct is simply unacceptable. There's considerably less wiggle room in those words." Kotick and higher-ups at Activision held multiple meetings last week to reassure employees they were committed to a healthy workplace, and the Wall Street Journal sources claim that at one online meeting, Activision executives told Kotick some staff would remain unsatisfied until he quit. Activision Blizzard employees have demanded Kotick's removal, staging a walkout and putting together a petition that currently bears the signature of 1,784 employees who quote, ask that Bobby Kotick remove himself as CEO of Activision Blizzard and that shareholders be allowed to select the new CEO without the input of Bobby, who we are aware owns a substantial portion of the voting rights of the shareholders. Some of the Wall Street Journal sources said the company's board of directors had yet to investigate Kotick, but were considering the formation of a workplace excellence committee. Well, that's all right then. Nice. I did see a good image. Tamua, part of Kind of Funny Games, I think GameSpot, posted a Spider-Man meme, and it was like Spider-Man with the word "the problem" pointing at another Spider-Man, pointing at him saying, "The person investigating the problem," and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to look into the problem, but I'm also the problem. Surely that's no conflict of interest at all. Yay! Returnal says Timeless. Yeah, Returnal wasn't even in the conversation either, was it? I think it was missed out. Cyberpunk's my game of the year, no joke. Says ads, can't tell if joking. You must really want to be banned. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Do you know what? I wouldn't begrudge anyone for having Cyberpunk as game of the year. I haven't opened it. Don't make me get out of the job. Oh, fine. Go on then. Let's get it out. There's my copy of Cyberpunk still in the cellophane wrapper, and it will remain there until we get the next generation. And it's all fully fixed, as I say every time. But I don't begrudge anyone because I know a lot of people. I know not a lot. I know a number of people that have played the game fully and enjoyed it. I've experienced bugs, but say it's actually a really good game. Some people say it's a good game. Not a really good game, but a good game. So I wouldn't be against anyone that sees it as their game of the year. But for me, I'm going to wait. I'm sure I read that if he walks, he's entitled to almost a $270 million payoff. Oof. Sheesh. That's like 263 million more than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What the fuck? Yeah. Game's amazing. It's fixed. I'm on PS4 too. 0 crashes. What the fuck? My PS4 couldn't even handle a smoke grenade on PUBG. So yeah, exclamation mark smoke. There you go. If anyone hasn't seen it, there you go. Fill your boots. Enjoy. Okay, so Bobby Kotick said he'll consider leaving Activision. Do you want to add anything to that bit?
It's a bit of a wanker, isn't it? How fast is he going to cover up all the shit that is covered up previously? Like, he's just going to continue to cover up as fast as he can now to try and keep his job. He should just walk away. But he won't, because he's an egotistical maniac.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he has a large stake of the board, which would vote on who his replacements and stuff, and who. If you wonder why he's still there, it's because he's the board. Why don't the board get rid of him? Because he's the board. That's why. This is the image from Tamur Hussain, by the way, at Tamur H on Twitter. The problem, pointing out the person fixing the problem. There we go. So yeah, there you go. It's a shit situation. Still a shit situation, but at least there's a conversation about what would happen if there's a potential of a Bobby Kotick-less Activision world. Because if you're ignorant to the problem, you are a negligent CEO that's not fit for the job. And that's what he is at best. At best, negligent. At worst, a lot worse than that. That's opinions. Opinions? Nice. Okay, next story. Jeffy Grubb at GamesBeat says Halo Infinite feels like Master Chief's Breath of the Wild. So I'm playing Halo Infinite, or at least I'm trying to. My Xbox is broken and keeps crashing, but while I wait for the replacement to arrive, I'm playing as much Infinite as I can manage. And what I found so far is that this game feels like a strong foundation for a new kind of Halo that still remains true to what the series always was. And while it's obviously now an open world adventure, it's one that feels closer to the latest Zelda than to Far Cry, and that's a good thing. At the same time, this is a Halo where Master Chief can capture bases, so it's not entirely unlike Far Cry. But the reason I keep getting Breath of the Wild vibes is due to two key factors. For one, Halo's developers have always treated it as a sandbox, and two, as Breath of the Wild is to Legend of Zelda, so Halo Infinite is to Halo Combat Evolved. When it comes to that first point, I'm happy to report that the campaign is still a Halo-ass Halo game, but where the multiplayer that launched earlier this week is very much a familiar Halo throwback, the campaign builds something new on top of Halo's gameplay. Halo's sandbox physics and combat encounters are still the core of fun in the campaign, but now those scenarios act as bombastic punctuation to a satisfying exploration phase. This mixes up the pacing and keeps things fresh, and now, when you stumble across a new cluster of enemies, it's thrilling. So where Breath of the Wild relies on its chemistry system and physics interactions to fuel its sandbox gameplay, Halo is staying with what it already had. I'm still early in the game. I haven't played past what I'm allowed to talk about for this preview. That means I can't break embargo or and go to Xbox jail, but it also means that I don't know if 343 ends up delivering on the potential for this game, but I'm hopeful that it does. Even if the game doesn't nail every idea in the end, though, the underlying concept is strong. It does feel like what I always imagined Halo was before I ever played the original. Seeing it in magazines in 1999 and 2000, I figured Combat Evolved was this big explorable world, and this game delivers on those assumptions. To me, this is reminiscent of the way that Breath of the Wild delivered on the promises of the original Legend of Zelda, and again, Infinite feels a lot like a massive Zelda game. It even has dungeon-like structures. Maybe these early impressions will fall apart as I get further into game, but for now, I'm excited. I cannot wait for my new Xbox to get here so I can play through this game. It's all I want to do right now, and I hope to bring you my final thoughts before Halo Infinite launches December the 8th. That is from Ads Plays at GamesBeat VentureBeat. Oh, no, it's not. It's Jeff Grubb at GamesBeat VentureBeat. He says Halo feels like... Halo Infinite's single player feels like Breath of the Wild in a Halo scape. What are your thoughts, babe?
That is amazing. Like, do you know what? I want to wear Jordan's thoughts on that, because I don't know whether or not he's going to think that doesn't sound like a Halo game. I think Halo has to evolve. I think every game has to evolve, especially for a game that's now 20 years old, or a franchise that's 20 years old. I think it has to evolve. And I think this is probably a very good way of making an older game and an older concept feel quite fresh. I like the idea of this. It makes me want to play Halo more. I mean, I was already in, but I think this kind of makes me think that I want to play even more, if that's the kind of thing I'm going to be expecting.
Yeah. See, I like the sound of this. I do like the sound of this. They are big words. I've not played Breath of the Wild on the Switch, on the Wii U, anywhere, but I know what that means in terms of Breath of the Wild evolved. Zelda was a series of games that was okay. Yeah, good, nice, really good for the fans, but didn't really go beyond that. Breath of the Wild was a landscape moment where Zelda became something bigger and better while still remaining true to its core. So if Halo can evolve, if combat can evolve truly, but still be that initial Halo, that's the holy grail. That's what Star Wars tried to do with The Force Awakens by making it so much like A New Hope. They wanted to recapture the magic whilst taking it somewhere new. Doesn't always work out that way. And if Halo can do that, then GG's. Everyone wants that, but not everyone gets that. So yeah. I did see Sheepfragger say, got to run, awesome stream, guys. Take care. Later, everyone. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate you dropping in. I appreciate you dropping that tier 1 sub as well. I think I did shout it out, but I don't remember actually mentioning it. I'm pretty sure I did. Thank you very much, Sheepfragger. I appreciate the tier 1. Have a lovely day. Good to see you in the stream. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m.-ish. Nice. Have a good day. Ad says Breath of the Wild, Craigasm. Zelda, Craigasm. Lee says, oh mate, that clip is heartbreaking and rage-inducing in equal measure. I'm sorry, but I did just chuckle and did just show it to my colleagues up behind me. Do you know what? That's the reason I set it up as a command, because it's funny and also gutting. At that point in time, I had level 3 gear. Jordan had level 3 gear. We were doing okay in that. That was the final shootout to take it to a 3-peat. We were about to win 3 different games of PUBG in duos, back-to-back on 3 different maps. And then my Xbox crashed. I just died running off into the blue or something like that. And then it was 2v1 and Jordan got melted, so we lost. So yeah, it was great. It was fun times. Really enjoyed it. Didn't have any scars left at all whatsoever. So yeah, anyway, okay, sorry, we can't talk about Halo too much longer, but it looks good. It sounds good. These are only the early first impressions. This isn't the full review. These are preview thoughts from Jeff Grubb at GamesBeat from VentureBeat. He says it could be Halo's Breath of the Wild moment. That's exactly what we like to see from Xbox, at least. Do you know what we'd like to see from PlayStation? These official PS5 faceplates, they could be coming soon, according to a Sony patent. This is written by Josh Coulson at The Gamer, and it says the chance to have your PS5 match your midnight black dual sense. Maybe. So the PS5 recently celebrated its first birthday, during which time more than 13.4 million of you have managed to get your hands on them. I'm the 0.4 million, by the way. I've got them all. So the new gen console has been celebrated during that time for the most part. There have been some minor complaints about the PS5, though. Its design took quite a few people by surprise when it was first revealed, and as of right now, there is no alternative. That might well be about to change. That's what a certain new patent filed by Sony has implied anyway. The document filed with the United States Patent and Trademark Office shows diagrams of the PS5's covers and faceplates from a variety of different angles. The description reads, quote, ornamental design for a cover for an electronic device, end quote. Potential colours, patterns, and other specifics about the potential designs of the plates aren't mentioned. PS5 faceplates have been a relatively controversial topic over the course of the past year. Third-party companies well aware of the PS5 owners who don't like the console's base design have created unofficial covers and plates for the console. However, in a handful of cases, Sony has not liked that. One company in particular has gone back and forth with the PS5's creators. After being asked to stop, it returned and dared Sony to sue. A while after that, Sony followed Dbrand up on that dare and really did threaten to sue the company over its unofficial faceplates. Dbrand stepped back to regroup and then returned yet again, this time with a completely redesigned set of faceplates. Its creators claim improved the PS5's airflow and cools it down. The third-party faceplates have vents on either side for what is a pretty bulky fan inside the consoles. It will be interesting to see whether Sony incorporates that sort of thing into its new faceplates and PS5 cases. It may just be alternative colours and maybe plates inspired by some of its first-party games. PlayStation has already launched the PS5's DualSense controller and 3D Pulse headset in different colours. All of the above should also be taken with a grain of salt too. While it's likely the patent is for the purpose of creating official faceplates, there has been no confirmation of that from Sony. So, last story of the day. What are the chances we get midnight black faceplates for the PS5, Bib? Thoughts?
If they can make money from it, they're going to make all sorts of colours. There's not just midnight black. They're going to have whatever. I mean, I'm still pissed that we didn't get the Spider-Man looking one, because that was the best looking console I think I've ever seen in my life.
Do you know what? It's interesting because I can see 12-month ago Graham going, absolutely. That Spider-Man one, the black with the red LED. Oh, yes, please. And now, from about 9 months ago, I actually really like it now. I know, it's still divisive. I'm not alone in thinking it's nice now. It's quite a good split. It's Marmite. People either really like the design or hate the design. My issues with the black designs were, after a while, it just became another just big black box with some lighting on it. Kind of like the PS2, PS3, PS4 kind of thing. PS3 wasn't the prettiest. It was massive. So it's kind of that sort of thing again. So yeah, I can see Sony trying to make a wedge of money off this. I think this has probably made them think about how they approach this, because Sony has always done, well, at least in the last generation, has done multiple different versions of the console. Great, you've got a PlayStation. How about a Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain limited edition? How about a Star Wars Battlefront 2 limited edition? How about The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 limited editions? How about a God of War limited edition? Selling multiple editions of the PS4 Pros and stuff along the way. A 500 million version in blue? Yeah, we'll get you one of those too. Nice, limited edition. Now they're probably thinking, okay, we can sell limited edition versions of the consoles, but rather than just printing different faceplates, as we were gonna do, why don't we sell faceplates now, and then that black plastic ridge that goes through the middle, we'll change that for the special editions as well. So I think PlayStation will probably sell faceplates now feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in a couple of years' time, but I reckon in the next 12 to 24 months, we will have faceplates on sale from Sony, as well as maybe the Wolverine or the next Spider-Man game will come with a PS5 Spider-Man edition or Wolverine edition, depending on whether the chip shortage stuff is sorted then. And that will come with the middle bit that's just glossy black will be Wolverine clawed or spider web kind of, or print stuff. Yeah, at that point in time, we'll get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guess, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Wouldn't it be awesome if they did a faceplate design lab like the official Xbox controller design you can do? It would be. I'm not sure that they do. It just doesn't feel like PlayStation lean into that. We've had this conversation before. Xbox gets aftermarket. You want a new faceplate for your Xbox 360? Okay, you can have one of those. They were doing it back then. Oh, you want an Xbox Elite controller that's got more than just your standard functions? We'll do that for you too. PlayStation go, you want a Razer Raiju? Yep, we'll sell you one of those. You want the Nacon Revolution? We'll sell you one of those. I mean, if we have to design it, we're not so sure. I mean, the closest we'll get is that like extra paddly bit that we add to the back of the controller. It makes you think that we were thinking about esports ready controllers, but then we'll never do anything after that since. That was like 2 years ago that they added that paddle bit, and we've not seen anything since. So I hope they do that level of customization. I'm not convinced they will though, so we'll see. Would be missing the trick if they didn't, says Tito. Absolutely. Thing is, they can sell multiple faceplates to users as opposed to a single limited dish version of console. Surely a larger market. But surely when you get to that point, like once the consoles have been around for a while and the chipsets become cheaper, consoles have a higher profit margin, and some people will buy 3, 4, 5, 6 consoles because they're collectors. So if PlayStation can make £100 per console to users, then that's, let's say they get £1 on a faceplate. It's probably going to be more than that, but let's say they do. That's 100 faceplates that they've got to sell to one console. Some people will buy one faceplate, not multiple faceplates as well. So this is PlayStation. Sony, if you can do both, why not sell some of your £1 profit faceplates and your £100 profit consoles? Let's do both. Let's sell new consoles with new faceplates. You can get your Spider-Man console that has maybe some black and red outsides for Miles Morales, but then you can change it to black and white to be Venom because he's going to be in the game. Why not buy the Spider-Man console with the Venom skin and the Miles Morales skin and the Carnage skin and the whatever? I could see them going that way. It's just whether PlayStation actually unlock that potential. Xbox would have that nailed down in terms of, people want this, we'll make it available. PlayStation, it'd be like, okay, people want this, but we want to make more money, more quickly, and it's not really no, we'll leave it. People will have more than one if designs are good enough. Yep. Most people won't. A lot of people will just buy one console and stick with it throughout. That's where the majority of people will. I would have stuck with a PlayStation from day one to day end if I didn't get a PS4 Pro. I actually had 3 PS4s. I got a PlayStation, then I got the Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain PlayStation, which I then eventually swapped out to the PS4 Pro. So it was only work and personal stuff versus an upgrade that changed it. But yeah, anyway, gonna have to stop the conversation because this has been a long old scoop. Do you know what? It's not a bad show. I appreciate everyone that has been getting involved throughout the entirety of the show. Miss Wolverine, thank you for the follow. Enix for the 19-month in total resub. What a guy. Sheepfragger for dropping your tier 1 sub. Gagad as well for 15 months. And then Big Ham and Trickett dropping in hosts and raids at the start of the stream. You're all beautiful people. This is how we like to start the week. With this level of support, it's ridiculous. Let me just remind you guys that if you are new here, if you have dropped in from Big Ham's raid, that we have a Discord. You guys, if you've dropped subs on our channel, Enix and Gagad know about it. Sheepfragger, I think he's gone now, but a reminder that all subscribers have a chance to win prizes. 1 subscriber a month gets a prize by being in our loot drop. To do that, just sub to the channel, get into our Discord. And if you're in the Discord and your Twitch and your Discord accounts are linked, that's it. That's all you need to do. You could be winning a prize every month. This month's prize will be given away on Monday, the 6th of December. So 2 weeks today, we'll give away a game of your choice. Start December when everyone's skint because you're building up to Christmas. Start December with a free game on us and an Ice Cream Uploads hat. How good is that? But before any of that stuff, Mr. Bibb, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much to each and every single one of you that have followed us today, that have joined us, that have subbed to us. We very much appreciate it. But that is one show down. there is still 4 more to go. So if you want to help shape those shows, there's 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms. Or if you're watching this on any of our on-demand services, go into the description. All the links that you require will be listed there for you. But all we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
Well, like every single weekday, we will be live at 10 a.m. Ish. 10 a.m. Ish. If any subscribers in the chat, just spam the ish emote. That would be very lovely. Thank you very much. So we have an ish emote because we go live at 10 a.m. ish. We try aim for 10 a.m. It's usually more recently. It's after 11. Let's be honest. It's like half 11 ish, but 10 a.m. ish, and that's because we work in the video games industry. We work for an agency called Jelly Media. We do all sorts of games industry, esports, social media, events, influencer stuff, digital content, which is how Ice Cream Uploads came to be, because everyone loves jelly and ice cream. Hey, you love to see it. That's it, though. We are going to disappear. We're going to drop a raid on a friend of the channel as well, so do stick around. Don't go anywhere, because when you go along with a raid, you get extra channel points, which are our sprinkles, which are down there. If you get enough sprinkles, you get a free subscription to the channel. It will take you a while, but you get enjoyable viewing along the way, and then a free sub, so everybody wins. Nice. Plus, raiding people just makes them feel nice and warm and fuzzy inside, which is what everybody wants. Lotus says extra sprinkles. Exactly. Blood, you get me. I'll Lotus UK with the DMR sprays. Good to see you, but now we're gonna go bye. Thank you for joining us. Stick around for the raid. Until next time, stay frosty. Muted the mic without going anywhere. Stay frosty.